Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's Saturday Stories. I am Naveen Gurusiddaiah, your empowerment coach. I empower people to go deep within to solve their problems in life. So today we have Abhijeeth Naik. He's a chartered accountant by qualification and profession, and he is VP Finance and Admin in Amicus Capital. So Abhijeeth has expressed his interest in sharing with us an empowerment story of his, which was like way back in 2009, wherein he was given a particular challenge, a situation by the management, and he had to go deep within to empower himself, come up with a solution, and see success. That plan he or the process he came up with by going deep within himself is something which is practiced as a process even today. It's still in place even today. So it was that powerful plan which he came up. And how did he do it? Just by going deep within. He did not go to his boss, or rather, it was a boss who gave the task. He did not go to anybody else. He just sat quiet for 2 days and came up with the plan all by himself, right? So without wasting much time, let's get directly into a conversation with Abhijit and hear this empowerment story from Abhijit himself. Good morning, Abhijit.
Hey Naveen, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you? All well?
Good, good. Thanks for inviting me.
Great, great.
All well, all
Thank
well.
Pleasure is ours to have you here. So thank you so much for your time and your willingness to share your empowerment story on this video, which is a part of Saturday Stories, right? All right.
Right.
So let's directly get into the story part. Okay. I just
Sure.
want to begin with asking you this particular empowerment story which you're sharing with us. This incident, when exactly did it happen, Abhijit?
Well, it happened to me in 2009 when I was heading finance for a fashion accessories company.
Okay. Okay. Great. 2009. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what was the situation and what was the challenge you faced at that particular point in time?
So I'll just give you a brief. In fact,
Sure.
I was hired to handle finance. One fine day, my boss came to me and said, "When I say fashion accessories, it's a watch company, right?"
Hmm.
My boss came to me and said, "We need to hold a discount sale in our store." So we were based in Indranagar, where we had a store in the ground floor and the
In
offices in the
Bangalore,
first and second floor
Indranagar, Bangalore,
in
right?
Bangalore.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right. So he said we need to set up a discount store,
Hmm.
discount sale,
Okay.
and I want you to run it. I told him I'm not a sales guy. He said, no, it's fine. You just need to think like one. So I got a little perturbed, saying, me being a finance guy, how can I handle a sale? So that was the challenge which came up to me. Was given to me by my boss.
Okay. So, a finance guy being given a responsibility to handle sales guy's job and also all aspects related to that sale.
Not only sales, yeah. In fact, the entire logistics, the operations of conducting that 2 day sale.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, how did you empower yourself by going deep within yourself?
Yeah, so I took it up upon myself, to do the best of what the challenge which was given to me. I had to think, go back to my CA days where we did a lot of stuff during our when I was part of the students committee,
Hmm.
and started thinking how I could implement those thoughts in this, right.
Hmm.
Um, so first thing I started thinking, first 2 days in fact I could not think. I was a little nervous as to how will I be able to handle it.
Okay.
And then I said, fine, let's just sit down and chart out a plan. So I took a piece of paper, started writing down, the processes which we need to follow for a 2 day sale.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Once I was working on that, realized this is very easy. How come it's very easy? Then I realized no, something is missing. I started thinking, why do I think it's so easy? Then I realized that I need to think a little more
Mm-hmm.
to see what can go wrong during those events. Not what can go right. I need to think what can go wrong.
Okay.
Then I started making points of what things can go wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and those points are going on adding up. I
Mm-hmm.
realized a lot of things can go wrong during during those 2 days.
And these are
Things
coming in
like
from your thoughts when you're going deep within yourself and thinking, and these thoughts are
yeah.
the ones which are telling you all this.
Absolutely. I'm thinking from a sales guy, I'm thinking from an ops guy, I'm thinking from an audit as an auditor. A lot of things are coming up. To give you an
Okay.
example, from a sales guy's perspective, what if there is so much crowd that we cannot manage, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From a security angle, what if a customer just takes away a watch and walks away, right? And from an operations guy, how can I make the customer's experience seamless? Right, a lot of things kept on coming up.
Wonderful.
What if the
Wonderful.
customer
That,
enters? What if the customer enters wearing a existing watch of my brand? What
okay.
do I do then? All
Okay.
kinds of things, right?
In
So
the
those,
in terms of neuro-linguistic programming, which we use in coaching, what you did back in 2009 is called
yeah,
as perceptual positioning. You think from the
yeah,
other
okay,
person's point of view and
exactly,
analyze the
exactly,
situation. Wonderful, really great. Very interesting to know
yeah.
more about this, Abhijit. Go ahead.
Yes. So obviously we needed to now gather all those thoughts, put it as one big plan, right? So for each thing which can go wrong, I noted down that okay, this might be the solution. I made a list of things like that and took it to my team members, to my colleagues. We had a meeting. We said, let's guys, this is the plan. These are things which can go wrong. Everybody given their inputs, and over a course of 2 or 3 days, we fine tuned that plan, right? And said, okay, this looks good. We took it to our boss, got approved, and we had initially about 4 to 5 weeks to plan. All these things, including logistics, warehouse, setting up the store, all this took about 3 weeks, and then of course the plan itself, which we had to implement.
Hmm.
And so the day came, the 2 day sale. It was a weekend sale, and as expected, the crowd was huge. We realized that the 6, 7 salespeople is not enough.
Hmm.
So immediately called up all my colleagues and said, "Guys, we need all hands on deck. Everybody's supposed to come into the store and act like a um, salesman."
Okay.
That's what happened, right?
Okay.
So
Everybody's
just
role
to give you an
changed, I
example,
guess.
a little more role change, right? Even I had to stand behind the counter and sell watches, and that was absolutely a great experience. Everybody needs to try selling, once at least in their life, right?
Cool.
Yeah. So just a little, give a little more color on what the process was, so that you can understand
Hmm.
what all was planned ahead, right? So you remember I told you that if there is a customer who has same brand watch which we were selling, he
Yes.
walks in with that, and how do you control that? We
Hmm.
decided there's a small fix. We as soon as or just before he enters, we put a tag, the ones which not a security tag, but not the ones which beeps, but at least a tag which cannot be broken easily,
Okay.
onto the strap of the watch, right? So the moment once the customer enters with that strap, he can do his shopping. When he exits, the security will check if the tag is still intact. If it is not, that means there's something wrong,
Okay.
right?
Oh, that means it can be a watch from the
It
store
could
or
be
some.
he would have left his old watch and put on a new watch and gone, or he would
Okay.
have tried to cut it, and you never know, right? So we
Smart
needed to think
thinking.
about all that. Yeah,
Whose
right.
thinking was this, this particular aspect?
So
Was it
this was a
teamwork or
combined
you? Okay.
effort. It was definitely a teamwork, but I had come up with what could go wrong, right? So that actually helped. But of course, it
Mm-hmm.
was a teamwork as well.
Okay.
Then in terms of the customer experience, once the customer enters the store, obviously there's a lot of crowd, yeah, and there are multiple brands.
Mm-hmm.
of watches on sale, right? So you had to go pick up a watch in a regular retail store. What happens? Customer enters, he goes to the sales counter, picks up the item which he wants. The salesperson helps him, guides him, and he along with the customer goes to the billing counter, gets it billed, puts it in a bag, and then sends him out. Right?
Yes.
In this case, that was not feasible because of the crowd. There's
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit. Each salesperson had almost 5 to 6 customers at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So this I had thought about, that what could be a better process to manage this.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to uh, you know get an order book in triplicate,
Mm-hmm.
an order book which is serially numbered,
Mm-hmm.
with white, blue, and pink slips, right? Which was obviously serially numbered. So this is the process which we followed, right? And it worked
So
like a
this
charm.
is a finance guy
Once,
thinking this or the sales guy thinking this?
yeah, this is finance, right?
Okay.
Obviously, I needed finance from customer experience. Later on in my life, this customer experience thing has kind of ingrained into my
Mm.
brain, that it has to be good. Even
Mm.
me being a customer as well,
Mm-hmm.
if I have a good customer experience, I will be I will promote that brand, or whatever the item is, right?
Understood.
So
Understood.
that's so once a customer enters the store, he goes to the counter, chooses whatever item he wants, tries it on, he likes it. The moment he picks it, the salesperson's job is to write the model number on the white sheet of paper, white order slip,
Mm-hmm.
his name and number, and give it to the customer. And the blue copy, which would have a carbon under it, which would have obviously had the same details in the blue and the
Imprint.
pink slips.
Yes.
You take yeah, you take the blue print, and we had arranged a lot of Ziploc bags. Put the watch in the Ziploc bag, put the blue slip in the Ziploc bag, seal it, and we had runner boys.
Mm-hmm.
So we handed the watch to the runner boys. The runner boy would go to the basement where the delivery section was there.
Mm-hmm.
We had set up racks, and the with that pouch would go and sit in the rack, right? So this is our internal process. And for the customer, what he does, he picks up that white slip, he he goes directly to the billing counter, which is again in the adjacent room, shows that slip. The cashier there would print out a bill. He
Mm-hmm.
would pay.
Mm-hmm.
um, he would attach that white order slip to the bill and put that it is being paid, and then he would walk out to the door, which is not the entrance but the other side, right?
Okay.
Where another security would check. Okay, he has paid. The tag is still intact, and
Mm-hmm.
he allows him to go to the basement. He goes to the basement to the delivery section. He shows this white slip. The person there would look at the serial number, just pick out that number which has a corresponding blue slip,
Mm-hmm.
packs the watch, and hands it over to him. That's the seamless process which we had thought about. And post this also, let's say the watch, whenever a watch, there would be issues of sizes, right? So the watch strap might be loose or tight, so you needed to get it fixed immediately, or the battery would not be inserted. You need to attach the battery. So immediately after delivery, we had set up a service counter, right? And the moment once he picks up the watch after the delivery, he just goes to the service counter, gives his watch, gets it fixed, whatever the strap or the battery or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and walks out. So this, I feel, was a seamless experience, and which actually worked.
Absolutely streamlined as well. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
foolproof
right.
everywhere,
So
including the tag to
minimum
the watch and
issues,
delivery.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's pretty
that was a
awesome.
great experience. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. So this is major part of all of this. Initial blueprint was done by you, and you said
Right,
that you went deep within and you took a paper and you started doing all of this.
right.
And you also said that you went back in your memory and tried to recall a time where you could have done it really
Mhm.
well. So when you
Right.
were thinking and trying to come up with the plan, how determined were you that I'll make this happen, I'll overcome this challenge when you're actually
No,
chalking
there
out the
was no
plan?
option. I had to get it done. I had 5 weeks, and we had to get it done. That's it.
Right.
Obviously, it was. I was pretty confident. Like I said, first 2 days was blank, but then after that, there was no going back. We needed to get it done. So I obviously, first few days I had to put my mind to it, to come up with a lot of stuff. And then, of course, got the team, and it was a teamwork. Obviously, the event cannot be
Of
run
course,
alone. The
of
entire
course.
thing is a great
Yes,
teamwork.
yes.
Yeah.
So, and then what did your boss say?
Oh, he was ecstatic. In fact, he was in the store selling, so he
Okay,
was
you
pretty
made him
happy with
also a
the
sales
entire.
guy.
Yeah, yeah. No, we didn't spare anybody.
Okay, awesome. So, Abhijit, how did you feel when you saw the success happening? Because you empowered yourself by going deep within, and you could see the success happening everywhere, and people are listening to you, and it's whatever you planned is getting executed, right? So, how did
Yeah.
you feel where at the end of 2 days
No, it
sale?
is. It was fantastic. In the 2 day sale, we were also standing behind the counter. We were dead tired, but at the end of the day, we had a target to sell so much amount of sales for that day. In
Mm-hmm,
fact, we did 1.5 times of the sales which we had targeted, and everybody was thrilled.
mm-hmm.
And I was very pleased, obviously very excited, even though I was so tired. End of the day, we went had a beer, but it was a great experience, great
Awesome,
feeling.
awesome. Wow, that's a nice empowerment story. I'm sure whoever has heard it and people watching this video who will hear it will truly get inspiration and also start believing that
Hope so.
any challenge or problem can be solved by going deep within first,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
And so, would you like to say anything, people, to the people who are watching this video, Abhijit?
Sure. Two things. One is don't shy away from any kind of challenge.
Hmm.
Just have the confidence that you can do it and you will do it for sure.
Okay.
Second is to plan. To plan. There's a famous quote by Ben Franklin. If you fail to plan, you're essentially planning to fail. So if you
Yes.
if you plan well, plan A, plan B, whatever kinds of plan you have to have, get a plan done. Half the job is done if you have a plan in place.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so from then onwards, just like whenever you face a challenge or a situation or a problem or an issue, you've got your
Absolutely.
lessons learned, right?
Yeah. I always have a piece of paper. Whenever I need to make a decision, I split it into two. Do the cons and the pros and the cons.
Hmm.
I'm sure it would have been helpful to you as well.
Yeah, of
But yeah,
course.
that's how I do it. This experience has really helped throughout my career.
Wonderful. Thanks, Abhijit. Thank you so much for sharing
Most
this
welcome. Most
story.
welcome.
It is truly
Absolutely.
inspirational. I'm inspired. I had my own learnings from your story. Even though it's simple, it's like a everyday work life, right? Challenges what we
Right.
face,
Right.
and you beautifully put it across in this video. The strategic way you empowered yourself to handle it back then, and I should compliment your memory. It's more than a decade, and you still remember it so well.
Yeah.
So
There are
that
some
helps
things
us,
which you can't forget. Absolutely.
right?
Well,
Great.
thank you so much, Naveen, for having me. It was a really good experience sharing my thoughts with you.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for the time and for thinking so much and going down your memory lane and bringing this story to all the viewers. Thank you so much, Abhijit.
My pleasure.
Wish you all
My
the very
pleasure.
best.
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye.
Thank you so much. Take care.